Hello, this is Gerald Overmans. The meaningfulness of letters is a quite automatically governed system which has the option of 1, 2, 3 in various ways. And in this video I will focus upon one of these aspects of the 1, 2, 3 rule that also explains how we are certain about certain points, directions, or orientations, or not. But it's not just yes or no. The 1, 2, 3 rule is not just in plus and minus. It's also this doubtfulness in between, which brings you to further looking for a solution, which some people might associate it with this quantum physics aspect of that uncertainty principle when you deal with a triple focus. It's the same thing that happens, and in the focus on letters, it's not just all about, yes, I'm certain that this is the case. I will explain how this 1, 2, 3 rule is performed. And it also says something like how we have to understand to sue, the word that or verb that I'm going to explain according to the theory that I have here at the right, which is a resume of all the letter positions, which basically are actually 9 positions, 9 directions, and 9 orientations. But we're going to talk about the 1, 2, 3 rule of focus. You can have the full system into these 3 categories from left to right, where the starting points at the left, described here in blue, is actually all which includes a certain uncertainty, in that way that you know that certain things are not. So it deals with a certain aspect of not. In A, it's not really very conscious, because we simply decide to take off, to make a start. We're pretty sure of ourselves. But it's still a way of, I will take a chance to do something with it. There is always this factor of not in it, which is highest when we are dealing in the third category in the feedback system. We're always dealing in consciousness about the not factor. The middle factor is where you have something real, something that you're sure about. The yes factor, that's the green thing part there, where you say actually yes at the letter T. It is, oh yes, I realize there is something there. There is a feature there. I'm sure of this. While the last category is not dealing with not, is not dealing with yes. It is depending on a lot of factors, and it concludes actually in the whole system in the end. In that feedback system, it concludes in the sum of all the feedbacks and so on. So it really depends on so much circumstances that when you reach the S, it will be quite difficult to predict it. You will not be able to predict it, but you can follow it. So there is the I do not know factor there, with a certain aspect of chance, which will be your decisive factor in the end. We will focus with the letter, with the first letter of to sue, with the letter T, with a certainty. Where is that certainty? It's in a foundation in space. So we are certain of an objective focus in space. So we know what the things are that we are talking about, and also where it is. So everything with to sue, with to in every verb, we start with knowing what we're talking about and where it is. The certainty, by the way, you can also have the whole system translated into numbers, and it's a numerical system as well. So the ATK is the first level, which is the number 1. Then you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The certainty principle, where you are certain that you reach the tuned in factor, is always in the middle. So in T, you're sure it's 1. In L, you're sure it's 2. In M, you're sure it's 3. Before that, it's less. So A is actually, you have the impression that you're dealing with a focus that has its own individuality, its own strengths, but it's forming itself. It's not yet 1. It's learning. It's a learning process, so it's not yet 1. It's less than 1. So the whole first letters or positions are about less than the number. The middle one is the number, and the last one is more than the number. And that's one of the aspects that I've also described in my book. And that's one of the ways that you can also understand better what are all these 3 times 3 times 3 focuses that are possible. But we start with the verb to sue, with to, and the T is the certainty that we know where it is, and you know what it is. And there you have that point and so on, where at that black point, that dot, there is the 2. Above that is the 1-2 rule, so it's not just focused into one focus, it's into the moving focus, so it's about timing, so the O will be about that timing. And that will be, I follow it up. I will follow up the timing. I will follow up where it goes to. I follow it up the moves. So 2 is actually knowing where and what it is, but when it is, it's not clear yet. So when you have a certain aspect, when you have them, now you have to follow them. All the verbs do have the combination of T with U, so you know what it is, where it is, but not exactly when it is. You have to follow it. So that's 2. The next frame of focus will be in S, so your real verb starts with S, so that's the last category, the 1, 2, 3 category. So there we will start to focus upon on the sue itself. Of course, we already have with 2 our focus that we are going to focus upon the a certain timing. We will know that it's 1, 2. It will focus, if you have from T to O, it will go to the point where you will notice the difference. But the S is the real factor. That is the first letter of the verb itself. The S will be the influence from outside, that chance, because it's not certain. The chance, there's an uncertainty principle that you have to follow up, and so we have to follow up in time and space. And the focus itself, if you have my system, you have under the first level is in 1 point direction of feedback. You have it, the second one with 2 arrows or 2 directions, and the last one with 3 directions. So you need to deal with 3 directions. The S is about, it's a lot of directions, and you try to figure out where they are going to. So basically it's translated as there's a certain rhythm going on, and we follow it very directly within all of its effects. Effects is one of the words that you can associate easily with it, although there's more going to it, which I will come to later. So you follow it up at the effects of it. The letter U then is in the first category. It's about the foundations in space, or a focus in a point. So we will follow up from T to O a certain point that we're going to try to start from, so it is the moving thing there, we follow it up, the what is moving, what we can follow what is moving. That means also it's in the not factor, in the less factor, there is a part that I do not see, and there's a part that I can't predict, but I follow it up from the part that I can follow, where I can focus upon. That's basically the letter U. And U is following it up in category. It's going to follow the time context. Because the last letter is E, it's certainly going to follow its time context at the underneath. So I can follow it up where it's going. The letter E in my system is not just about timing, it's in the middle of all the timing, it's the highlight of all the timing. It's going to highlight what is changing in time. So what I'm doing here is I'm following it up what I know in a time schedule. So I follow it up during a certain time effectively. So that's basically what we already can derive from to sue. So far, it's not very different of someone who is following a prey during a hunt. It's because we're following it up from space to something what is moving in time. So basically, that is like following something up from space into a time schedule. But then I forget, of course, something. So that is, of course, one aspect. But what we should not forget is, where do we start from? We do not start from, in the verb itself, from the to itself, but from sue, from the S. So the emphasis, that are two words, the emphasis renews itself from the S, because we do not only follow it up from space in time, because that's more the to factor. The sue factor will start from S. And S is that all the vibrations, all the directions, all the differences of directions, how they work together so that we can have the effect. So that means we're not just following something up in time, like with to, and go to it, but also come to follow up the best effect. We follow S first. We follow its best effect as first. So we have that highlight at the end in E. We follow it up, how the things change via U, to the highlight. So the highlight that we can find, express. So we control also its effect by following it up in this case. We also have extra attention to get the effect that we want, get the effect that we want to accomplish at the highlight of the catch, as a matter of speaking. So we're following up, let's say we're following up the prey from space in time, but with the most emphasis on what will have the best effect, what will have the most effect. So when we follow our prey up from space to time, we also take care that we have a highlight of effect of what we want, of course, as well. And that is more that is the difference between just to hunt to something, or to try to catch something, try to get something. And here, something that starts from S, we follow the effect first. So, of course, the last category is that decisive chance. So there's a chance in it. It's all due to the good feedback. So we have to follow up the feedback very carefully and follow up the process also very carefully to get also that effect, because that's nothing is certain, of course, that we will receive the effect that we want, but because it's has that unpredictable thing that will simply do its course. S is about effect, but it's also about multiple directions. And the multiple directions is like a set of influences. We follow its effect because we follow its set of influences, and they all change at the same time. It's a fluctuation, that's what the S is. And the fluctuations and set of influences and so on, and all the moves, they make the S also quite well suitable to use it for multiple, because it's about multiple influences. In the end of the word with S, it also has follows up these all of its directions, and that's why it's also used as to describe more than one. By the way, that's also something that you can derive from here. Basically, what I want to do with to Sue is that I focus very well with to, and Sue is that follow-up where I try to limit my chances or to control its effect. It's not telling me that it is a control, but the U is has a growth in it. It's as your follow-up, your focus that comes from to makes that so also that it is very directed, thanks to the to before the verb itself, and that has a help. These two letters T and O before every verb help to concentrate, to follow it up as best as possible, that it doesn't make you too dependent on what is in that word or verb alone. Okay, I hope that was clear enough. Here it was a quite more difficult subject, and I also brought some theory to it as well, that you can adapt to and learn that this and have to deal with, that you deal with it, that this exists as well. Okay, thanks again for watching. Bye.